Hey friend, if you're wondering if you should pop your locks or not pop your locks, whether you should stay traditional or semi-freeform, or whether you're already on your semi-freeform journey, I'm going to be talking today about whether or not you should pop your locks, especially for your lock maintenance later on into your semi-freeform lock journey. Now, if you're like, what the heck even is popping your locks? Don't worry, I'm going to explain it to you, but the answer just might surprise you. So stay tuned and let's get into it. So today I am breaking it all down. And who am I? Oh, hey, my name's Lauren, and I talk about semi-freeform lock maintenance and holistic lifestyle. So if you like that, hey, what's up? You can give this channel a sub. So, what is popping your locks? So, popping your locks is a process that happens during your lock maintenance, usually, and I would recommend that you do it on wash day because you want to do it when your hair is wet. And it happens when you take the root of your locks when they are trying to marry each other, which means that the root of two or more locks at a time are trying to fuse at the roots. And if you don't want that, then you usually pop your locks. If you do want that, and if you're trying to go like completely free form from traditional locks or semi free form, and you don't mind them marrying or fusing together, then don't even worry about popping your locks. But if you do, most people would take those 2 or 3 locks, however many, and then break apart the hairs that are trying to conjoin those locks together so that they become separate locks. And this allows your hair to form in the way that you want it to, and it's a style type of manipulation that you do when you want to have a more traditional style of locks and you want to maintain them and groom them. Popping your locks basically takes all of the work out of separating. So sometimes you'll be able to just take 2 locks at the root and just literally pull them apart. That's not the same as popping. Popping is when you literally take your finger and take the hairs that are conjoining them and then breaking them apart. Now, the controversy about this is that some people in their lock journey believe that popping your locks is very damaging to your locks because of reasons that I'll get into later. But other people believe that it will help you not conjoin your locks together if you don't want that to happen, while still maintaining a cleaner look and helping your locks grow as you want them to. So, should you pop your locks? There is a couple of layers to this answer. So, the first thing is I would encourage popping your locks if, number one, you want to maintain separate and more traditional groomed locks. Number two, if you want your roots to not be tangled up, as many people don't want them to. And number three, if you prefer a neater look. Now, don't pop your locks if you like a thicker freeform lock style. If you want freeform locks, then don't pop your locks because freeform is when you don't really do any type of maintenance to make them look a certain way. You just literally let them form freely. That's why it's called free form. Also, don't pop your locks if you don't mind them combining naturally. So some people combine them using like a needle and thread, or like I once did, you can combine your locks by doing like 2-strand twist, and then you have like congos at the end. And if you don't want them to combine, then don't pop your locks. Or if you want them to combine, naturally, then don't pop your locks. Another thing is that if your scalp is tender and irritated easily, then I would not pop your locks. So here's the thing. Here's why I said I could encourage popping your locks. If you retwist your locks at least 3 to 4 times a year, like once every quarter, then I would say it's okay to pop your locks. So I've been locked for about 4 years, a little over 4 years. And in the beginning of my lock journey, I was retwisting maybe about once a month or once every other month. I changed the frequency a few times. And I did not have to necessarily pop my locks at that time because they weren't really maturing. I was within the first 6 months of my lock journey when I was retwisting my locks. However, if I was further along and my locks started to marry, it would be okay for me to pop my locks because I was retwisting. The reason I say that is because popping your locks involves separating two hairs that are conjoined and basically breaking them apart so that you are not just untangling your hair, but you are basically creating shorter hairs at the root of your locks. That could be a problem if you don't plan on retwisting, because then once you break those hairs apart and they become shorter hairs at the root because they're broken, if you don't plan on retwisting, then they have nowhere to go. Therefore, if you just pop your locks and don't retwist or don't do any sort of thing to manually put them back in a section and direct them to where they're going to go, they're just probably going to marry again the next time you go to wash your hair, because that's what locking is. It's locking the hair up. And so if you are going to, let's say, do the more traditional route and at least retwist once a quarter, then I would say popping your locks when you do that is okay. Other than that, I would only separate your locks. And the reason I say that is because separating your locks does not involve breaking off the roots of your locks in order to prevent them marrying. Now, separation happens when you just, like I said, take two locks and then you just pull them apart at the root. But it's not like you're using tension on your scalp, because the way that you hold your hair is you hold right near the root and then you pull them apart. And I'm not really doing this for real, because again, you would want to do it when your hair is wet. I only separate my locks. I used to at one point pop my locks because I thought it was healthier, but I realized that over time, when your locks start to mature, and this is whether you have traditional locks or freeform locks or semi-freeform locks, which is in the middle of traditional and completely freeform, your locks start to figure out where to go on their own. So once you get into maybe like a year and a half of having locks, even 2 years, your hair has now started to mature and it's getting used to being in locks. Therefore, you don't need to pop your locks, in my opinion, especially if you have semi-freeform locks, because your hair is going to start to go into the section that it feels like it should go in without you having to manually put it there. And in my opinion, a holistic lock journey is all about listening to your hair and really responding to what it responds to naturally. And popping your locks is not natural. Neither is, in my opinion, retwisting a lot. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video so far, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below what you've got out of the video so far. It means the world to me. My name is Lauren and I love to make content about lock journey, a holistic lifestyle, and wellness mindset. So if you like that, subscribe. Definitely, I appreciate you so much. So that is my answer. Now, how to pop your locks properly, because this is super, super important. You don't want tension on your locks. If you're going to pop your locks, you don't want to break off unnecessary strands of hair. And really, it's not breaking off your hair because you're going to put it back into another section of your locks. And so either way, you're just moving hair around on your head. It's not really coming out. Number one, you want to start with damp hair. If you're going to pop your locks, please, please, please start with damp hair. So if you're not doing this on wash day, I would recommend misting your hair and your roots with distilled water over the water that comes out of your shower, because distilled water, and you can get it from like wherever, Walmart or whatever, it softens your hair strands more than the water that comes out of your shower faucet, which is oftentimes hard water, and it has mineral deposits and things like that that make your hair harder. So damp your hair either in the shower or with distilled water if you're not washing. Number two, use your fingers. So you want to gently separate your locks first. And I'm just doing a really, really quick demonstration. Let's do over here. So you want to separate your locks first. So just imagine your locks are marrying at the root, and some of my locks actually are marrying, but I do some regular, maintenance. If you want to see my maintenance routine, then you can click up here in the card, and I'll also put it in the description box below. But yeah, first use your fingers to separate them. Then wherever you want to start to pop your locks, I would take an index finger, go ahead and come underneath the hair like this, right? So just imagine I want to pop my locks with these hairs. Then you're going to take the thumb and index finger of one side, and then the thumb and index finger of the other side, and then you're just going to break it apart. So I usually use my finger in the middle to just break it apart right there, and then separate, or like I said, pop your locks. So you really just want to hold both sides of the hair so that you don't cause any tension on your scalp. And you want to go slow. When you hear a snap, that's usually an indication that you've done it right. You've popped your locks. And then afterwards, you definitely want to moisturize and hydrate your scalp and your hair, and then do the rest of your routine as normal. Again, I do recommend that if you pop your locks, do some type of maintenance afterwards, meaning you retwist your locks, or you can crochet your locks. Some people interlock, or you can do my method, which is braiding your new growth into your locks. And again, if you want to see that video of how I do my lock maintenance, then hit up the description box below. So how often should you pop your locks? Well, kind of going back to the previous statements, that if you are retwisting, I would only recommend popping your locks if you retwist your locks at all. If you do any other maintenance, or like I said, if you do the crocheting or palm rolling, or what was the other one, interlocking, I think that's also okay too, because again, you're putting those edges or those roots back into a place so they don't marry each other. So it's however often you do your maintenance. If you do it like once every quarter, then pop your locks once every quarter. I wouldn't recommend doing it every wash day, just when you feel like you really need to separate locks that are marrying together. You probably would be more prone to do this if you were in the beginning stages of your lock journey, meaning if you were in the first 6 months, because again, that's when your hair is trying to learn what you're trying to do with it. Because if you're newly locked, your hair is trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening, where we at, where we going. Like your hair before being locked, your hair was used to being brushed, combed, slicked back with baby edges and baby hairs, and put in crochet styles and weave and whatever. But now your hair is learning how to just be left alone for the first time. So that's why it takes some getting used to. And that's why I said, as your locks start to mature, 1 year, 2 years down the line, they will learn they're exactly where they need to be, and the strands will just fall where they need to. And that's why I, at 4 years, don't need to pop my locks. I just separate every once in a while, and I braid my new growth into my locks when needed. My maintenance routine has dwindled down to almost nothing as I've gotten mature in my lock journey. So at the end of the day, your locks are your own thing, whether you decide to pop them or leave them or pop them, lock them, drop them. I don't know. Tell me in the comments, do you pop your locks? Do you have semi-freeform locks, or traditional locks? Let me know down in the comments below. I love to hear you all's feedback on my videos, and let me know if there's any other video that you'd like to see requested. And if you want to see a video like this, click this video right here and watch it next. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. I said that already. All right, peace.